Right, for the idea we have to go back to 2006 actually. The I Maiden fan club asked me to do something different on the World Conventions, and I thought it would be a real nice idea to do I Maiden acoustic, to bring it back to a campfire area, and that's what we did actually on the convention in the Netherlands. And to be really honest, I was really scared to death, as we're gonna have a full audience with true Iron Maiden fans, and we're gonna do something different, and it could turn out in two ways, like like smashing tomatoes and rotten eggs to the stage, fuck off. But it turned out the other side, everyone was really enthusiastic about it, and it was really fantastic. Actually there was the idea born, and then we went out to do some other gigs, and at one point we had a gig in Belgium, and that was a real fantastic night. While driving home after that show, I was in the van and I was like, hold on, this is something really special what we have in our hands, and let's quit all the live shows and let's see if we can record it and to get an album out. So actually there the idea came up to make the recordings, as the songs were, they were so useful for doing the recordings with the acoustics, and actually that's what we did in 2010. My buddy Lou Jolie from Within Temptation and I, we had a year off, and in that year we went arranging the songs from the Peace of Mind album, which turned out actually in the album Mind the Acoustic Pieces, which was released in December 2010, and that was actually great, and that was actually the full idea to have Maiden United on track, and we released the album December the 10th 2010, and then we went out on tour doing some shows, which was actually really great. And for the live shows, as we had only just 45 minutes of the album, we need to have some extra songs to complete the live set, and we did some other songs as well, like Wasted Years and Infinite Dreams, and Only the Good Die Young was on the set list, which turned out really, really great. And before we knew, the second album was already born. That was, the second one we released on September 28th in 2012 across the 7th sea. And from that point on, we carried on and on with touring and recording albums, and Maiden United was there as a full project. That was it. Yeah, the good thing was that it was actually, like I said, it was actually planned for one album in 2010, Mind the Acoustic Pieces, that was all. And then we went into the live shows, and all of a sudden, we get some invitations from the Wacken Open Air Festival in Germany. We went to Download Donington in the UK, and we played the massive festivals, and that was actually really great. But we didn't, it was not the idea, to be really honest. So, but we enjoyed it, and later on with the tours, we did some European tours, and we were crossing borders and borders and borders and borders, and next week we're back in Portugal and in Spain. How fantastic! So that was something unexpected, but it was more than welcome. Well, as we speak, we're right back from 2 years of being nowhere, and right in the middle of the pandemic. we had our 10th anniversary of Mighty Acoustic Pieces, which I told you about just a couple of minutes ago. As we released the album in 2010, so it was 10 years in 2020, which was right in the middle of the pandemic, and there was nothing that we could do. People were getting tired of those live streams. We were more than a year into nothing actually, so we couldn't do anything. And then I thought, well, in 2022 we have the album Across the Seven Sea turning 10 years, so we had to think about it, what to do actually. And I thought at a certain moment, I thought it would be a real nice idea to literally cross 7 seas. So that's what we are doing right now. We're crossing 7 seas, and we're gonna make music with other cultures. So what we did with the Black Sea is that we went into those klezmer kind of music, which is based and built around the Black Sea, and we were working with some guys with the clarinet and with the trombone and trumpets and violins, accordion. That was amazing instruments we've never used with Maiden uniteD, and which we've never used in the metal music at all actually. So that was the idea, and I get into touch and made some contacts with those klezmer guys, and they were absolutely blessed with the question that I've asked them to make a cooperation with each other. So we went over and we went into a studio, and we worked on Maiden tracks, Maiden uniteD tracks, in an acoustic way, completely different arrangements, different instruments, and we went in with a real open mind, no expectations at all of what result could be or would be, and that's what we did. So in the end it turned out in 3 fantastic arrangements, recordings, video, audio, everything was there, and it was a perfect start for the whole 7 Seas. So that was C number 6 actually, 6 out of 7. So we're gonna record the other albums as well, and the good thing is that I will record a C, which is actually not a C to be really honest, but we're gonna record a C with the Portuguese musicians as well. So I've really turned into some fado musicians, and we're gonna make some Iron Maiden fado music as well. That's what we did. So I have a real great fadista, and I have a real great Portuguese guitarra portuguesa guitar player, Ricardo Gordo. You might know him. And we have Eduarda on fadista. It's going to be absolutely amazing, and well, that one's going to call the Atlantic Ocean, which is actually not a sea, it's an ocean obviously, but it's water, that's all, it's water, so we have to cross it. So the Atlantic Ocean, fado music, which is great, and we're gonna cross the Mediterranean Sea, and we're gonna cross the North Sea, and we're gonna cross the Caribbean Sea. We're gonna cross all those seas, and we're gonna work with different culture musicians, which not gonna be full albums, but it's gonna be side projects. So we have the full albums, Mighty Acoustic Pieces, Across the Seven Sea, and Remembrance, the Barrel House tapes, and Empire of the Clouds. And next to that, we're gonna release some EPs of the 7 Seas, which will be 7 albums, and it's gonna take 7 years to celebrate the anniversary of Across the 7 Sea. Yeah, you're right. This is the second leg of the Powerslave Tour, and we started back in September of this year. And we went to countries like Hungary and Austria Germany, England, Scotland, Belgium, and we did some different, countries, which was really great. The tour is absolutely going really well. Then in November we had a break, and we're gonna have the second leg of the Powerslave Tour coming up, in December, as we start in Spain. We're gonna do 5 shows in Spain, and then we're gonna come over to Portugal on December the 9th. It's a Friday night. We play the RCA Club in Lisbon, which is really great, because back in 2019, during the Sailors of the Sky Tour, we played the RCA Club in Lisbon as well on a Tuesday night, and it turned out really fantastic. You guys who were there, I'm for sure that you guys will remember that night as it carried on and on and on. It was so fantastic that after the show, the audience they kept on singing the tune from Empire of the Clouds, while we as a band were already finished. We were on stage. We were ready to go into the dressing room and to meet up with the friends in the audience, but we couldn't get off stage as the audience kept on singing, which was really great. It was a Tuesday night in Lisbon, so while talking to the promoter, which is a real good promoter, it's Emanuel from Hell 6, absolutely great. We said we really would like to do Lisbon again, and if possible the RCA Club again, and he managed to do it on a Friday night. So Friday, December the 9th, RCA Club. It's going to be fantastic, as we're going back with our Powerslave show, and yes, we're going to play all the songs from the Powerslave album, and some more, of course. But it's really a challenge. We had so much fun on our first part of the tour, so it's going to be absolutely great on the second part, especially when you know that we're coming over to Portugal as well, playing Lisbon, and then the day after, on December the 10th, we're going to play Loulé, which is in the south, in the Algarve, and it's a real nice venue, but for tobacco. I've been there before, because some of you might know that I have a special relationship with Portugal, so to me it's really special to be there. And the previous tour we did 1 show in Portugal, in Lisbon, on a Tuesday night, and the other tour, the next tour, which is right now, is we're going to play Lisbon again on a Friday night, and we're going to play an extra show on December the 10th in Bafo Tobacco in Loulé. It's going to be amazing, I guess, and it's going to be the last shows of the tour. We have 1 more show on December 11th, and then it's all finished for the Powerslave Tour, so we're really looking forward to do it. And Portuguese audience is a real great audience, and we're looking forward to meet. Sure, as it's going to be not exactly the same lineup as the first leg of the tour, but we have Nick Holloman on vocals, which you might know from bands like Vicious Rumours, and these days he is working with Powerized, amazing lead vocalist, amazing Iron Maiden fan as well, and he's doing a real great job. You have to see this guy, you have to hear him. He's such a musician, he's such a musical guy, fantastic. On guitars, we have Hein Willekes, Legion of the Damned, Up the Irons, who's playing, which is really great. As this lad came up, this is actually his first tour with Maiden United. He did some recordings with Maiden United in the studio, so you might have heard him on some of the albums, but the Powerslave Tour was his first live tour with Maiden United, and he brought in the finger style. He's not only playing with the pick, but he's playing with his fingers as well, and it turned out really nice, as we have the song Flash of the Blade, which is of course in the set list as it is on the Powerslave album. He plays the whole middle section just with his finger, which is absolutely great. Fantastic guitar player. He's a real metal guitar player, and now he's doing the acoustics. Fantastic. And the good thing is that, you know, as you metal guitar players do know, that the downstroke kind of thing is really important in the metal music, and sometimes he's doing that on the acoustic as well. Absolutely great. And on piano, we have a lad called Johnny Termos. He's coming all the way from Athens, Greece, and he's a real great piano player. I've met this guy while we're playing with Maiden United in Greece and Cyprus and Turkey. He did with his band The Silent Wedding. He did the support shows for all these gigs, and an amazing lad, real nice, cool guy, and a real great piano player. And I thought, well, I need to invite this lad for a tour, and that's what we did, and it turned out really well. So you know, in the meantime, we learned some Greek ancient history and some Greek ancient, you know, language, which is fantastic. On drums, on the first leg we had Fab Rechtman from Antimatter, but he can't be here for the second leg, and we have Pim Gover there on drums, which is really nice, as Pim is officially the drum roadie from Fab. So, but this guy, he knows all the tracks already. He knows them even better than Fab. You know, that was really great when we did the sound checks. You know, he did the sound checks, and it turned out really well. So for this second leg, he will be on the drums, and last but not least, you know, it's my good self on the bass. And I've played every Maiden United show so far on the bass guitar, so that's what we're gonna do in Portugal as well, if you're okay with it. Like I said, this is the second leg, and it's the last leg of the Powerslave Tour, and we're finishing off 2022 with this tour. And 2023 is already planned with a new show, a new concept, which is called 1980, which you might have seen on the website www.maidenunited.com. Well, 1980, it says it all, I guess. You know, we're going back to the 1980 area. In February we have some theatre shows coming up in the Netherlands, and it's going to be a real huge one on February 11th. We have in the main theatre of Tilburg, the Netherlands, and we have the great show, the 1980 show, featuring Dennis Stratton, you know, on guitar. As he's the original guitar player from the 1980 album of Maiden. And we have Loopy, you know, Steve Loopy Newhouse. That's his full name, you know, the roadie from Iron Maiden from 1978 until 1984, and he wrote that book Loopy World, you know, where he is talking about his era with Iron Maiden as the Iron Maiden roadie on the road, in the recordings, everything, which is a real great and fantastic book. You have to read it, and he will be there with us on stage to talk about the 1980 era, with Dennis on guitar on stage, with Loopy as the roadie on stage. So you have both worlds, you know. You have, you know, the stories from the guys on stage, from Dennis, and from the guys backstage, from Loopy. So that's going to be music and chats about the 1980 area together in one actually show. And, you know, on top of it, we have Mr. Doug Hall, the original sound engineer from Iron Maiden, on sound, and he was there at the 1980 area as well. So we have 3 of those 1980 area guys in the show, as Doug would not only do the sound, but he will join the show as well for some chats and some some interesting stories. So that's the 1980 period. It's going to be 2023. It's going to be full 1980 for Maiden United. And of course, we're going to release another CD. Yeah, as I have to tell you that later on in this month, I'm gonna record the Fado music in Portugal. So after the tour, I won't go back home. I will stay in your beautiful country and gonna work with some real nice Fado musicians, and we're gonna record the songs, and I would like to release it in 2023 if all turns out really well, because actually I have no idea at the moment if it turns out well or not. So it's going to be the first Future Plans 1980 and another C album. Well, thank you for having us on World of Metal, and we're really close to the Portuguese dates, to the Portuguese shows, and we're really looking forward. So we hope to see you all on December 9th at the RCA Club, Lisbon, and on December 10th, Bafo de Baco in Loulé. We are looking forward. I hope you do, and let's make it a real nice Iron Maiden night together. Let's have some fun, let's enjoy the music, let's enjoy the laughers. Right? Cheers guys, we'll see you in December. Cheers.